Okay guys, now we are going to cover the scissor sweep. The scissor sweep is one of the most common, one of the more basic sweeps that everybody kind of learns in jiu-jitsu, and there's a lot of different ways of how to apply the scissor sweep, how to get the scissor sweep to work. So I want to show you guys my variation, my way of doing it, and I'll explain to you why I do it the way I do it. Okay, it feels effortless. Once you're able to do it this way, it's effortless. And the reason that I like the scissor sweep so much is because I can do the scissor sweep anytime my opponent either has both knees on the ground or one knee up, one knee down. Okay, so it's available for me from a lot of different situations. When my legs are open and they're trying to pass, anytime they have one knee down, one knee up, I can always sweep them to the side, the knee is down. So let's talk about the details of the scissor sweep. I want to show you all of the mechanics and why I do it the way I do it, and hopefully it will help you guys get a deeper understanding of how to apply it. So we're going to start from here. We'll do it from two angles so everyone can see. So you're going to be sitting back. Okay. So the way that I do my scissor sweep is very different than what's typically taught. I think what's typically taught is you need this grip, you need a hand on the collar or hand behind the head, and the person switches out to the side, and the knee is up around the chest. And what happens from this situation here is usually, because now if they're sitting back, they're heavy on their hips and heavy on their butt, I can't really sweep them. And so what normally I see people do is they try to pull the person on top and load them on top, which makes the knees light, which makes it available to sweep. The problem with that is if we're using this in the context of fighting, okay, if I pull the person on top of me to sweep, I'm exposed to a big hit. Even from here, I don't want to have the range or distance necessary for him to be able to punch me. Okay. So the way that I've been teaching the scissor sweep, people how to do the scissor sweep, is once I open my legs, okay, I'm always going to move to the side that I'm sweeping. So I start with my shoulder, and then leg goes to the ground, biting tight, and my knee slides all the way across his hip. So I want to slide my shin and my knee all the way across the hip. Now, it's really important that I don't have my knee pointing up. And the reason my knee is not pointing up is because as I extend my leg, if my knee is pointing up, the energy will go in the direction of my knee. And so I'm not trying to take my opponent up towards the sky. If I extend my leg right now, it's, how much do you weigh, 225? Mm-hmm. It's very difficult for me to lift 225 off the ground with one leg, just a leg extension, okay? So I'm not trying to lift my opponent there. I'm trying to take my opponent here, okay? And so actually what I do is I actually angle my knee a little bit towards the ground, okay? And the other important thing about so that's the first thing, is the angling of my knee. My knee is pointed a little bit towards the ground. The other important thing is that I can never allow my leg to be bent more than 90 degrees. So if this leg is bent more than 90 degrees, my leg will be jammed. Very easy for me to fix that. I just move my hip away and I keep some engagement in my ankle. So try to jam me right now. I'll try to come in. Can you come in towards my leg? No. So you see, even when he tried to came in a little bit, he ended up moving me away because of my engagement on my. Can you touch my face right now? No. So that's what's important for me too with the scissor sweep, is that I am always keeping a distance where I'm safe, where he can't punch me, okay? Because at the end of the day, jiu-jitsu has to be effective for self-defense. So now, biting my leg, all I'm going to do is push with my ankle through his hip. So sit back on your butt, spread your knees wide for me, and the beauty of doing it this way is I don't need to load my opponent. I don't need to pull him off his butt. Even if he's sitting back, knees spread wide apart, he's still going to fall over effortlessly. So one thing that I do need is I do need control of the hand to the side that I'm sweeping. But now all I'm going to do is I'm pushing through his hip. Felt effortless, right? Yeah. What you guys can notice now is that when I'm finished, my toes are pointed in the direction that I'm taking him. Now from here, I'm going to bite my heel to make sure that he can't move away. So my heel keeps him from moving away. If you move your hip, the heel keeps you. And then I can put my hands on the ground to come on top. Time. So there's a lot of details here that are done differently than the way I've typically seen it taught. And just so you know, all of these details are extremely important. So first thing I do is, one, I don't ever put my foot on the ground to move my hip. Okay, I keep the connection with my opponent, and so I use their thighs actually as my frame of reference to be able to move my hip. When I uncross my legs, I just stretch my legs, lift my butt off the ground using their thighs. So instead of having to put my foot on the ground to lift my hip, I use my legs. From here, my shoulder turns, leg falls flat, and my other leg goes across the hip. Already, once my leg slides across the hip, so I want to make sure that I slide my shin as far across the hip as possible so that my ankle is connected to his hip bone. Okay? So try to jam me. Try to touch my face, and I can touch his. So that's beautiful. That I'm in the position that if we were striking, I can touch him, but he can't touch me. And now from here, I want to be looking in the direction I'm going, or looking in the direction I'm taking my opponent. I don't want to be leaning back. Okay? So I need to make sure that I'm really on my side. And all I'm going to do is push my ankle through the corner of his hip. So that was with no loading, no pulling, me sweeping a guy with his knees wide apart, sitting on his butt, that weighs 225 pounds. He fell over effortlessly. From here, I need to make sure that I'm controlling the hand, right? So usually I control the hand, bite my heel to be able to get up. And I'll show you guys the no-gi version. I'll show you guys the version how I get up without the gi. When I do the scissor sweep without the gi, once I knock my opponent over, it's difficult. It's a little bit more difficult to control the hand. So there's a way to get on top where I always win the battle to get to the top position, because a sweep is not just about knocking your opponent over. Anytime you go for a sweep, you have to be able to maintain control until you get to the top position, or else it's not a sweep. Right? And so that is also very, very important. How do we maintain control so that I always win the battle to get on top? So let's do it from, if we can turn over to this side. Okay, let's back a little bit. Good. So what I want you to do is I want you to spread your knees wide apart. Those are pretty wide knees. And so most people, what they think is if their knees are spread really wide apart, he's really got good base and he's sitting back on his butt. At this point, most people would not feel comfortable doing a scissor sweep. They feel like the scissor sweep is off because of his base. Well, the cool thing about this way that I'm teaching the scissor sweep is I'm not pushing him over his knee. The feeling that he will actually feel is he feels like he's almost getting spun out because I'm attacking his hip. I'm actually pushing through his hip with my ankle. So from here, yes, sit back on your butt, yes. And you can see he's got great posture, right? Use my legs, lift my butt off the ground. Slide my shin all the way over, and my ankle's connected to the hip. This is biting tight. All I'm doing is extending my leg. So we gotta make sure that when we extend the leg that I'm not going around his hip, that when I extend my leg, I'm actually pushing and attacking the corner of his hip. So from here, obviously control, feel this, oh. That was effortless, I barely pushed into him. It's like 5% and he fell. From here I bite. So usually when we're coming up, control with the cross grip, so that way my hand is able to help me come up, right? And even if he's moving away, this bite, move your hip away, the bite keeps me connected to him so that I can get on top. Okay, so. By the way, I've been teaching this seminar all over the world, and there was a seminar in Australia where I taught this, and there was a guy that was 6'8", 280 pounds. And he was sitting back on his butt, knees wide apart, and I was able to sweep him effortlessly, and pretty mind-blowing. Everyone at the seminar was just in disbelief how effortless I was able to sweep him without loading him, without pulling him off his butt. So one more time, we're here. So when I set up my scissor sweep, I can grab here or grab here. All I know is at the end, once he falls, I usually switch the grip. Okay. If we're doing the no-gi version, actually I'll show you the no-gi version right now, how I get on top. I break my legs, move out to the side. Leg is always low, biting. Always make sure that I'm on my side, facing the direction I'm going. And my leg is here. All the way, ankle right next to the hip, right? Yes. And so now all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna push through his hip. Okay. From here, my leg is on top of him. Okay. Now because I don't have control of the sleeve let's say we're doing it no gi, he's going to try to get back up. So what would you normally do? Put your hand on the ground and start to get back up, and then this is a battle. So he already won that battle. Okay. So if you lay down again on your side, so once we fall, I immediately put my hands on the ground, get back up. And so all I'm doing is just walking my hands and stretching my leg past his body. So no-gi, now if I do the scissor sweep, obviously we want to try to have some control of the hand, some control of the wrist when we're going for the sweep, right? If he doesn't have a gi available to grip, okay? But a lot of times what happens is we go for the sweep, and now I don't have a good control of his hand. He's going to get back up, so go put your hand on the ground and get up. So that's when it can happen, and it becomes a fight. So it's a big waste of energy. I knocked him down, but I didn't take the top position. So now what happens is anytime I go for the sweep no gi, where I've been able to knock him down, but I don't have control of the arm, okay? So here, I'm hip out again, leg goes all the way across the hip, leg biting tight, pushing through the hip, my hands immediately go to the ground. So I put both hands on the ground and I'm facing the ground. Now let's try to get back up. As he tries to get back up, I stretch my leg heavy across his body. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing, get up on your elbow. See how he's already up? As I push my hip across, I start to walk my hands and my body on top of him, staying very, very sprawled out and heavy and low to the ground so that all my weight transfers over him and I'm able to win that battle to come on top. So this is a way to be able to take the top position, guaranteed. As soon as I sweep, I immediately turn towards my belly, putting both hands on the ground. So we're here, boom, leg goes across, right? Biting, push through his hip. You can see how easy it was for me to knock him over. Stretching the leg, keeping the leg heavy. Okay, so that's the details for the scissor sweep. I also talked about being able to do the scissor sweep anytime your opponent puts one leg up and one knee down. So anytime that happens, the sweep actually becomes much easier. So if you go here, okay. So from this position, anytime he puts one leg up, okay, I'm always going to sweep him to the side that the knee is down. Once the leg goes up, I can break my legs, and now I use actually my leg that's on his leg to lift my hip. So again, instead of putting my foot on the ground, I'm heavy with that leg, turn my hip to the side, and again, look at the angle of my knee. My knee is pointing down in the direction that I'm looking to take my opponent. From here, I just pushed into his hip, and that was barely any movement to get on top. Okay. Time. So we're here, puts his leg up, boom. Move my hip out to the side and see how my knee is angled down? The reason my knee is angled down is because now as I extend my leg, the energy is going to go in the direction that my knee is. So just from pushing, he's going to fall. Now it allows me to get on top. So what's really nice is from playing open guard, there's all these opportunities where either my opponent has either both knees on the ground or one knee up, one knee down. And so I'm constantly switching sides, looking for that sweep, right? A lot of times what happens is we'll be here and he's passing the guard, and maybe I open the legs here and he puts this leg up. Exactly, that'll happen sometimes. So now I switch sides. I'm able to sweep him effortlessly, right? So I'm always looking, and that's the nice thing is I can switch sides. So maybe he puts this leg up, and I switch to this side, and now he puts that knee down and puts the other leg up. Switch back and sweep. So by switching sides, by learning how to switch sides, and by really developing this scissor sweep, basically I'm able to sweep my opponent anytime he's has either one knee on the ground or both knees on the ground. The only way for him to avoid being scissor swept is for him to stand up.